Hello, everyone. It's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and welcome to the Wasteland Retrospective here on the SPM Crew Podcasting Network. And this is my weekly show where my guests and I each pick a film related in some shape or form. And hopefully, by the end of this episode, you have two films to go check out. And it is the first Thursday of the month, which means my wife Jess is joining me. Thank you, Jess, for coming on.
It's a pleasure to be here, Shane.
And it is a pleasure to talk to you about a couple of 80s fantasy animated films, two of which one is very much a cult classic, and one is kind of the ugly stepchild of Disney animation. And we're going to start off with 1985's The Black Cauldron. And this film is directed by Ted Berman and Richard Rich.
Oh, there were two directors. Wow.
A lot of animated films have multiple directors.
It's not.
But here, a young boy and a group of misfit friends embark on a quest to find a dark magic item, an ultimate power before a diabolical tyrant can. I heard this dark, powerful item is called MacGuffinite. Um, which I'm stealing that from the bad guys too, because that was indeed a joke in that film. But we're not here to talk about that film.
It's pretty highbrow for a kids' movie.
But Jess, what are your general thoughts on the Black Cauldron?
It's one of the Disney movies of all time, Shane. It's fine. I didn't regret watching it, but I don't know that it would be, top of my list.
It's a challenging film because so this is based off of the series of books, the Chronicles of Prydain, and this film is 80 minutes, but definitely feels longer than 80
Yeah,
minutes.
it kind of drags some
There's,
parts.
I guess, just to, kind of start positively here. I think there are different elements of this film that really work, especially when it gets very dark. This is a lot darker than most Disney animated films, and I think a lot of that has to do with the Horn King, with voiced by John Hurt,
He's scary.
who is scary, intimidating, and just the whole entire vibe around him, like the green aura of his evil undead
Mm.
minions, and just all of those kinds of things that whenever he's on screen, John Hurt gives such a fantastic voice performance, and it's just very creepy. I also give the film a lot of credit for playing around with a lot of different types of fantasy elements. You have this undead sorcerer type villain, you have fairies, other types of creatures,
Magic.
plenty of magic for sure, including this Black Cauldron, and even just a little furnish, like having John Huston coming in and doing the narration around the film as well. But honestly, there's some fun little characters. Like, was it Bergie, who's definitely not Gollum?
Boogie, yeah. He's
Who's
definitely
definitely
good.
not
Yeah.
Gollum.
He definitely doesn't pop up and do a little my precious thing.
But I guess, Jess, what were some of the things that stood out to you that you really liked about the film?
Um, I do like that 2D animation. You can tell the places that they supplement it with a little bit of CGI. I feel like they were dipping their toes in. And by I feel like, I mean I read that on Wikipedia,
There you go.
but I did like the Horn King. I thought he was a good villain. I thought maybe he could have been used. I
He's not on
in
screen a whole
something
lot.
better, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
He's giving Chernabog.
I feel like the worst part of this movie is that the protagonist is nothing but extremely annoying.
He's insufferable.
Insufferable for sure. Like, sure, he could be a little bit whiny, but you could have moments of where you step up. I just could not stand
He
this
just kind
character
of complained the whole time.
complain the whole entire time.
It starts off with him complaining,
Yeah,
actually.
very, very much from the beginning. The female protagonist is very, 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 very one-dimensional.
Oh,
Um,
Alonwe,
just like there's
Princess
nothing,
Alonwe.
nothing much to her. I feel like this film has some pretty bad tonal issues because
It goes from really silly to really dark.
you have this whole entire section where it's all these henchmen and they're getting very sexual with these dancers and
Oh
stuff
my
like that.
God.
I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, I forgot about the big boob sex workers or whatever they were.
and it's like,
Barmaids,
is
quote
this
unquote.
for children?
Yeah.
and that's very weird.
Oh yeah, they do make jokes about like paying her. Yeah,
And then there's a whole like the whole entire plot centered around one MacGuffin, the Black Cauldron,
definitely not like Sauron. Stop it.
and it's very much episodic and doesn't really come together in any kind of interesting way. Things just kind of happen. They happen to wander upon like these little fairies or this and that, and it just
Oh yeah, the
keeps
fairies are
going.
there for like 30 seconds, maybe. The witches kind of
That's
popped up and came back.
that's the thing. It kind of dabbles in different things without really digging into them or making real use of them.
It did the opposite Hobbit. The opposite of the Hobbit, where they stretched it too thin. This was like too thick,
It's just
too much.
they tried way too much in such a short period of time. And despite the fact that they're like going from this place to this place to this place, the pacing is sluggish. And there's times where it just kind of gets boring. There are some thrilling moments. Like there's one like overhead like attack sequence
Hmm.
that's pretty scary
Oh yeah,
and
with
thrilling.
Henwin.
But like at the end of the day, I'm not surprised this has kind of been forgotten to like the recesses of nobody thinks about this movie in terms of Disney
I guess
animation.
it's like, hey, I've seen the Black Cauldron, you guys. It's Disney trivia night down at the local pub, and there's questions about the Black Cauldron, but nobody's seen it.
I just feel like there's so many great animated fantasy films, and this one just struggled to really make the world it's creating come to life. But it's for 80 minutes, it's watchable, it's enjoyable enough, and it has some cool elements. But to your point, it does have really strong animation as well at times. But yeah, those are. Do you have any other thoughts that you want to throw out about the Black Cauldron?
I could see this being influenced by the Dark Crystal. That's what I actually was just looking up and stuff like Labyrinth. So I
Would
feel like it's all of that time in the 80s with the dark fantasy, and we'll talk about Fire and
would
Ice.
much, 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 much rather watch the Dark
See, the Dark
Crystal.
Crystal leaned into that, and boy, was my being terrified of it as a child a testament to that. This probably would have scared me for a little bit, but didn't give me nightmares.
But yeah, but those are our thoughts on Black Cauldron. Our other film is from 1983, just about 81 minutes, and this is Fire and Ice from writer director Ralph Bakshi, who was one of the more impressive filmmakers at the time who made other animated films outside of Disney,
None of them
along
surprise
with Don
me.
Bluth. He had Wizards and Lord of the Rings, Fritz the Cat,
Fritz the Cat doesn't surprise me at all.
stuff like that. And here we have this film, Fire and Ice, at the end of the Ice Age. An evil queen and her son are set on conquering the world using magic and warriors. The lone survivor of a crushed village fights back, as does the king of Fire Keep. This is so aggressively
They're
fantasy.
really underselling the princess's role in this now, aren't they?
Yeah, they kind of
Wow,
just
the
left her,
king just sits in his castle and waits. Come on, guys.
or the indigenous character
Oh
who's like
yeah,
actually the most interesting character in the movie. But we'll get to that. But Jess, what are your general thoughts on Fire and Ice?
this is not a kids movie. Prime example of
Yes,
animation is not necessarily
this
always
is
for
adult
kids.
animation for
There's
sure.
so many butt, and there's like scooping of butts too. Like they're very touchy, and not in necessarily a sexual way. Some of the definitely is, but even when they're climbing a tree, like the subhumans are like just cupping his butt cheeks.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of more intelligent things to say, but the thing that comes first to my mind is I was like, wow, he's way up in there.
So this film definitely is adult animation for a couple of reasons. It's certainly violent and
Oh yeah.
bloody and intense, but it's also really overly sexualized. Like this is somebody had a kink here where they had the rotoscope animation in this film and they were just like honing
Nobody's clothed at all.
honing in on picked out asses, just
Everyone's
whether it was
butt
the
is out.
princess who's in very little clothing
They're in an ice castle. It's like
that and then this survivor of this village has very little clothes either
that
and
movie
like
goes hard.
yeah the poster is like extremely
It
80s
looks nothing
fantasy.
like the movie though.
Yeah,
But good for them. They put Hawk front and center right
yep.
there.
And like
Not Hawk, what was his name?
the main protagonist is like
Dark Wolf.
also like extremely muscular, and they really
Oh
hone
yeah, all
in
over.
on all of like the curves of his like thighs and his legs
It
at
was
times.
very since we watched Conan not too long after that, I was like, you know what, I could see that. I could
This
see that they
is
came from the same
this is
era.
certainly Conan masculine fantasy coded.
Everyone's
And
ridiculously ripped and shredded.
yep, this film definitely has the male and female gaze going, where it's just like really focusing in on these characters, which is really weird for an animated movie. But I guess because it's rotoscoped, it's like this is like actual figures of people that they're like honing in on.
I feel like
But outside of that, 'cause, this movie
I mean
has
it's got a quote unquote storyline.
this film also has a very loose story. It's basically you have Kron, this evil wizard, and his mom, because he's mommy's boy. Um,
He is mommy's special
just
boy.
trying to be like nice.
We never find out
And
who his dad is, do we? Because it was just
I
like
don't
his
think
mom
that's
had a
important.
son. I mean, I know it's not, but he's
This
very
movie's 81 minutes, and I feel like this film is always moving, and I think it has good pace. It's almost so much just action. I wouldn't be surprised if like Gendy Tartovsky had like any kind of influence for like
Fang.
Primal
Oh,
from
that
this,
one.
because it's just like this is very much adult animation. It's all about the action, the violence. Like the whole entire first act of this is just like a straight up chase sequence
Yep.
with the
They go right
male
to
and female
the
protagonists being
killing.
chased by like these
Subhuman.
subhuman characters. And the action's great. It's really thrilling. The animation is interesting because, like it mentioned, it's rotoscoped,
Oh, unnerving looking.
but like it's very much like very not super detailed, like
No,
and
unless it's the
hand
muscles or butts.
yeah, hand-drawn animation. They do a very good job of capturing the subtle lines that craft like the curves of somebody's butt in this movie,
Yeah, what's his face would love that. The
which
character, Ray Winstone's character.
like it's just something where you're not watching this for the plot.
No, I 1000% see why people smoked a lot of weed in the 80s and hung out in their parents' garage. Like, that's what this movie is for.
Well, and the music really goes along with it too.
Oh,
And
it's great.
William Kraft just like this film is nothing but vibes, action, and thrills.
Yeah.
There's very little story. It's very loose. Even
I'm
like the
expecting Citizen Kane.
the characterizations too, like Lauren and Tigra
Lord.
are very bland. That at least they're not annoying though. Basically, the main protagonist is brave and persistent
And very muscular
and very
and blonde.
muscular, and that's it. That's his whole character.
Got a
And
great braid.
like Dark Wolf, who is by far
Yeah,
the coolest, most badass character
argue the only competent
with
character.
the coolest design too. He's a really awesome character, and honestly, this movie should have just been about him
Yeah, there no wonder they put him front and center on the poster. They'd
because
all be
he's
dead if
he's
not for him.
badass. He has like this cool like black fur headpiece and a giant axe.
I
And
do
it's
love
like
the fur and metal cod piece he has going on. Very nice.
and
Very
it's
ergonomic.
it's ridiculous. The dialogue is very simplistic
He just
and
comes in and is like, "What's up, idiots? Getting yourselves killed over here?"
and it has like flying moments with them flying in on like
Oh,
pterodactyls and stuff like
yeah, they call them some like dragon tears or something.
yep. And there's definitely moments in that sequence where they're reusing animation.
Oh yeah, they
Um
just flip it. They do the
yeah.
Control C, Control V.
So like there's some elements that feel like this is not the most dynamically created film, but you can see why this is a cult classic because there's tons of action and sex.
Oh yeah,
Like there's no actual sex, but there's just like
it's the implication.
it's the implication that like at any minute one of these extremely muscular, very like inappropriately defined characters physically
Everyone looks like a bodybuilder on shred day,
to
on
like
show day.
it has the things that fill up 81 minutes and make it a thrilling, fun ride, but I don't think there's a whole lot of substance to this.
No,
This is very like paint by the numbers kind of
Yeah, shut
fantasy.
up and watch your stupid sexy people.
I'd still rather watch this than the Black Cauldron
Yeah,
because at least this is much more thrilling and exciting.
this didn't expect me to pay attention to the million Welsh named people and characters. At one point, I looked at Shane with Black Cauldron. Was like, "Where's the pig? Wasn't the pig like a central character in this? They
Yeah,
just forgot about her for the last three of the
the
movie.
poor Piglet just disappeared.
Or Hen. That's she really. I was invested in that.
But at the end of the day, this film and Black Cauldron are very middling kind of fantasy animated films. There's so many better ones, but like this just captures that 80s camp over the top ridiculousness. Like Necron's basically
His name is
a,
Necron
a
too.
hair metal band front man with his like puffy shirt
Bleach blonde hair.
and just white hair and stuff like that.
He's very gay coded.
This and heavy metal are very much like this era of super masculine 80s
Aggressive.
animation. But yeah, besides that, it's at least a fun time.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
You have any other thoughts?
About this. No.
Well, there you go.
That's about it.
And that is a wrap then
Any
here
thoughts, Mark?
on another episode of the Wasteland Retrospective here on the SPM Crew Podcasting Network. Now, Jess and I next month will be tackling Dark Man and Spider Man as we highlight some of the comic book works of Sam Raimi. But next week, in honor of the release of the new Naked Gun film, Mike and I will be talking about The Naked Gun from the Files, a Police Squad, and Top Secret, both with exclamation points, and both from Zucker, Abraham Zucker. But thank you for listening, and Jess, thank you for coming on and talking movies with me.
You're welcome.
Make sure to like, comment, share on this episode. What are some of your favorite 80s animated films or just favorite fantasy adventure kinds of animated films? Are you more into this like uber masculine cult classic action and violence kind of ones? Or,
Yes.
yes, there we go. Or, Disney. Or, others like Don Bluth and stuff like that. But also, make sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. The SPDM Crew Podcasting Network is ever expanding. And there's so many great shows with all different types of interests. You'll certainly find something that you can latch on to. And if you're interested in joining the crew, make sure to reach out to us on our website and let us know if you want to be a guest on one of these shows or if you want to start your own podcast. Also, if you like our logo, check out High Flyer Creative for all your digital marketing needs. But most importantly, thank you as always for tuning in and supporting the Wasteland Retrospective here on the SPM Crew Podcasting Network.